So a little bit of context before this video starts. About 2 months ago I was searching the internet for a shitty story to read when it came to my attention that one of the worst stories I have ever read, Sonic.exe, got an official remake along with its sequel, Sonic.exe LA Noire edition. This piqued my curiosity, and after I was unable to finish the remake due to how terrible it was, I immediately knew that it would be on this channel for a reading. So I got Dino and Tabby back together, pardon me, to read the story with me. Also, another member of our Discord showed up into the chat before we read the second one, so we roped him into it as well. And we also decided we would read the first two here, as it'd just be no fun reading it on its own without the dumpster fire that was the original and the dumpster supernova that was the sequel. And after a month or two of organizing, oh my god, that's not, oh my god, the absolute mad lad. He's gonna fucking die, someone stop him.
No. You know, I've practiced his chugging techniques and they work.
You practiced his techniques in the dojos in Shanghai.
I'm like the patron of the art.
This man is the master chugger, okay?
This man is the master chugger. You're getting Christian. Oh my god, he's gonna choke. Is he gonna choke them both at the same time?
Okay. 2 boots. This is to all my friends in Australia, alright? And everyone else around the world.
Rock on, my man.
Cheers, folks. You know how we do this.
You gotta breathe out.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. The mad lad.
This is nothing. Okay. You wanna see my favorite?
Organizing. And discussing our times and shit, we finally got around to recording it. And this story, well, this video is the end result. I apologize in advance. Alrighty, so we're here now.
I'm not surprised that
I'm recording
Cash
now,
went
by
to
the way.
jail.
We are recording, we're reading Sonic.exe. Have either of you read the story, Dino and Tabby?
Oh.
You're in for a fucking wild ride.
Alright, like I'm already scared from
So,
the
should I
picture.
start this off? Should I read
Alright.
it? Should I read as just the narrator?
You'll be
Or
the
should we go
narrator.
through- well, there aren't any other characters, I think, so...
Okay, we'll just, like, paragraph by
Yeah,
paragraph.
and then if there are characters, someone else will put on a voice or whatever.
Yeah, right.
I am a total Sonic the Hedgehog fan, much like everyone else. We're off to a great start. Don't you guys just love Sonic the Hedgehog?
Yeah. I wake up every morning just to play it.
Yeah.
It's the only thing keeping me going.
In this world. I like the newer games, but I don't mind playing the no one likes the new games. You probably like Sonic 06.
This guy is such a fucking normie, I tell you.
I
Let's
don't
keep
think
going.
I have ever played glitchy or hacked games before, so I don't think I will want to play any after the experience I had. ... Dun, dun,
Uh-oh.
dun.
Da-da-da.
It started on a nice summer.
Oh no!
It started on a nice summer afternoon. I was playing Sonic Unleashed. I liked how you got to explore the towns in it. Fuck off. Sonic Unleashed
This
is
is
a terrible game.
writing.
Until I noticed,
Yeah, that's
out of my
alright.
peripheral vision, the mailman had arrived and put something in my... I just
My
imagine...
peripheral vision.
I just
My
imagine...
peripheral vision.
No, I just imagine he's he's playing his game and he he just turns around and he's like, "What's that at my door? It's the mailman. What's he doing here?"
10, perception
Yeah,
10.
you just eat some
My
parts.
man had glasses on to give him plus 2%.
Yeah.
I paused my game to go see what I got in the mail. The only thing I got in the mailbox is a CD case for a computer for computers and a note. I took it inside. I looked at the note first and realized it was from my dear friend Kyle.
Kill.
My dear friend Kyle. He's from the 1800s, I suppose. Let's just call him that. Wait, what?
Okay.
Whom I hadn't heard from in 2 weeks. I know that because I I know that because I recognized his handwriting. This man is clearly a fucking detective.
Hey, Sherlock Holmes on the scene here.
He's just reading it. He's like, "Hang on, I recognize this. It's Kyle's, my dear friend.
He like licks it.
My
It's
dear friend."
DNA.
Yeah, he like takes it to the forensics lab. And he's like, "It's definitely Kyle."
Yeah.
So it was weird how it looked. It looked badly written. Wait, so you recognized it, but it looked weird, so you didn't What?
Yeah, whatever.
It looked
Stop.
badly written and scratchy and somewhat difficult to read, as if Kyle had a hard time writing it down and did it in a hurry.
Kyle has Parkinson's.
Pardon me. He's got Parkinson's syndrome. This is what he wrote. So who wants to? Anyone want to read this?
Sorry.
Do that. Keep that voice going. I think that this Kyle guy's such a pussy. I think he should keep that voice.
Tom, I can't take it anymore, man. I had to get rid of this thing somehow before it was too late. And I was hoping you'd do it for me. I can't do it. He's after me. And if you destroy his CD, he'll come after you too. He's too fast.
This is meant to be scary.
Please, Tom, destroy this godforsaken disc before he comes after you too. It's too late for me, man. Destroy the disc and you'll destroy him. But do it quick, or otherwise he'll catch you. Don't even play the game. It's what he wants. Just destroy it, please, Kyle.
I like how he
end.
signed
Please,
off his
Kyle.
name. Please, Kyle.
Kyle. Kyle.
Please, Kyle.
You're rightfully
wanna-
Kyle.
Holy fuck.
Alright, my turn.
Holy
I
fuck.
gotta.
Destroy the dish. I just love the idea of he's too fast for me. I just imagine like Sonic the Hedgehog going like, "You're too slow."
It's like butchering you.
Yeah. Anyways, go on, Dino.
Alright, hold on. Let me just get my Spotify playlist going. There we go.
Also, I've got the classic gamer setup. I've got some licorice bullets, pineapple lumps, some musts, and a 1 liter of Coke.
Well, that was certainly weird. Even though Kyle is my best friend, I haven't seen him in 2 weeks. I didn't know what he asked me.
Wait, you've already
I didn't do what
established
he
that
asked
haven't seen
me.
him in 2 weeks.
I didn't think that a simple gaming disc would do any harm. After all, it's just a game, right? Boy, I was wrong about that. Anyway, I soon looked at the disc, and it looked like an ordinary CDR disc, except it had a black marker on it, written.
You have to scream it. It's all,
Sonic.exe.
it's in all caps. You have to scream it.
Comma.
Dino.
Sonic.exe. Comma.
He should have used his Norton antivirus.
I just love like who puts
You should
the
use
exe
NordVPN.
on their fucking computer on the disk.
And
sorry.
it was much unlike Kyle's handwriting, meaning that he must have gotten it from someone else, like a pawn shop or eBay. When I saw Sonic on the writing of the CD,
Wait,
I was actually
pawn
excited to
shop or
play it,
eBay?
since I'm a big Sonic fan.
Yes, you've already established you're a big Sonic fan.
I went up to my room and turned my computer on and put the disc in and installed the game. When the title screen popped up, I noticed that it was the first Sonic game, and I was like, awesome! Because like I said earlier, I like the classics. The first thing I noticed that was out of place was when I pressed start. There was a split second before a split second when I saw the title image turned into something much different. Something that I now considered horrifying before cutting to black.
I just imagine he's got like fucking PTSD from this game.
I'll read this last paragraph. I remember what the image looked like in that split second before the game cut to black. The sky darkened, the title emblem was rusted and ruined. The Sega 1991 was now instead Sega 2019,
666.
and the water had turned to red like blood, except it looked hyper realistic
You're gonna be seeing
because
that a
a
lot,
few
by the way.
pixels looked realistic.
So I just love how in this split second he somehow managed to remember that it was Sega 666, and instead of Sega 1991, he must have some photographic memory and been able to like take a photo of it.
Yes, perhaps.
Anyways, I'll keep going but the freakiest thing was in that split second in the frame was Sonic himself. Wait, what? But the freakiest thing that was in that split second frame was Sonic himself. Pardon me. His eyes were pitch black and bleeding with 2 glowing red dots staring right at me. and his smile had stretched wider up the edge of his face. I was rather disturbed by this, about that image, when I saw it, though I figured it was just a glitch and forgot about it.
Where are we?
Oh fuck, this character is a fucking moron.
He's a genius. Anyway, where are we?
The freakiest thing.
Alright.
Okay. But the freakiest thing
I'm
that
reading
was
it,
in...
Tabby.
Oh.
After it cut to black, it stayed like that for about 10 seconds or so. And that was what, wait, 10 seconds. Why does he know this? Why did he, like, did he
Just
take
keep
out
going.
no, did he take out his fucking stopwatch and be like, one,
Hey, you got his pocket watch out.
is this character actually from the 1800s?
Got his
And
pocket
then another
watch
weird
out.
thing happened. The save file from Sonic the Hedgehog 3 popped up, and I was like, what the fuck? What's that doing in the first Sonic game?
I meant to say WTF.
If he said WTF in real life, if I was someone who said WTF in real life when talking to myself, I would jump off a bridge.
Okay, Gunther.
Anyway,
The extreme.
when I noticed something off, the background was dark, cloudy, as a bad Stardust Speedy level from the Sonic CD. There were only 3 save files. The music was that creepy caverns winter music from Earthbound. Why is he bringing Earthbound into this?
You guys play Earthbound? I've never played it.
No, neither have I. I'm not Japanese and I'm not a nerd. Well, I am a nerd, but I'm not that kind of nerd.
Oh, Gunther's a nerd!
Keep going.
Only it was extended and seemed to have just been in reverse. And the image from the save file, where you had to see a preview of the level you're on, is just static red for all 3 files. Oh, fuck. What freaked me out more was the character select. It only showed Tails, Knuckles, and to my surprise, Dr. Robotnik.
Who the
Now I
fuck's
was sure
that?
something was up.
Is that Eggman, Egg Boy?
Yeah, that's Eggman, everyone's favorite character. Now I was sure something was up. I mean, how can you play as Robotnik in a classic Sonic game, for crying out loud? Maybe because it's a fucking hack. That's when I realized that this wasn't a glitchy game, it was a hacked game.
Ah.
That's when I realized it was a game. It was a hack.
Tybee, read the next sentence and don't read it as chills, alright?
Alright, where are we? What what freaks me out more than was
No,
the character.
yeah, it definitely.
Okay, it's, yeah, it definitely looks hacked. It was really creepy, but as a smart gamer, are you a smart gamer, Gunther?
I'm a smart gamer.
Again, there's like a gamer hierarchy, and like intellect, like
Yeah, if
like
you're
Mr.
One of those
Mr.
fucking gamers.
No, there's a Reddit atheist at the top,
Yeah.
and then there's people who post screen text, and then there's
people who use Tumblr unironically.
and then there's yeah, but at the top it's Reddit atheist. All right. I wasn't scared, or at least I tried not to be. Oh,
You skipped like a whole thing.
no, I didn't. I got to the I wasn't
Oh.
scared, or
Never mind.
I told myself that it was just a hack game, and there's nothing wrong with that.
This
Anyways,
guy's never gonna get laid.
shut up. Shaking off the creeps out feeling, I picked file 1 and chose Tails, and when I selected and got started, the game froze for about 5 seconds, and I heard a creepy pixelated laugh that sounded an awful lot like the
Wait.
Kefka guy from Final Fantasy.
A creep pixelated laugh.
Audio isn't pixelated. Perhaps. Final Fantasy before cutting to black.
Why are you bringing in a bunch of weeaboo shit into this?
I don't know. Let me get a sip. The screen stayed black for about 10 seconds or more. Then it showed the typical level title thing, except the simplistic shapes were different shades of red. And the text showed only Hill Act 1. The screen faded in, and the level title vanished, revealing Tails in the Green Hill Zone from Sonic 1. The music was different though. It sounded like a peaceful melody in reverse. Anyway, I started playing and had Tails start running like you would in any of the classic Sonic games. Which was odd was that as Tails was running along the level, there was nothing but flat ground and a few trees for 5 minutes. That was when the peaceful music started to lower down into slow, deep tones very slowly as I kept going.
Are you scared yet? And
Do you want me to take the wheel?
Should have
yeah,
just
yeah.
used
We'll
the
do
McAfee
everything. We'll read
antivirus.
like 3
I
paragraphs.
suddenly saw something, and I stopped to see what it
Wait,
was.
McAfee
It was
this game has to have been made by John McAfee. He's the only man insane enough to have made it. That has to be it.
It was
Yep.
one of those small animals lying dead in the ground, bleeding. Left bracket. That was when the music started to slow down. Right bracket, comma. Tails had a shocked and saddened look on his face
How can you tell that?
that I'd never seen him at before. So I had him move along, and he kept that worried look on his face. As he kept moving, I saw more dead animals as Tails moved past him, looking more and more worried as the music lowered down.
How the fuck can he
And he
tell
moves past
that
more
he's
dead animals.
worried? He's a
I was
few
shocked to see how.
pixels.
Shut. Hey, don't interrupt me, boy.
Sorry.
I was shocked to see how they all died. They looked like somebody had killed them in a rather gruesome way. A squirrel was hanged on a tree, with what appeared to be his entrails hanging out. A bunny had all 4 of his limbs torn off, and a duck had his hides gouged out and his throat split. I felt sick to my stomach when I saw this massacre, and apparently so did Tails. After a few more seconds, there were no more animals, and the music
He
stopped.
felt sick
I still
at a few
kept Tails
pixels on
to
a
continue.
screen.
Yes.
I still kept Tails to continue.
Fucking hell, imagine if this guy saw the Christchurch shooting, like the footage of that. Imagine what he'd do then. He'd just like he'd pass out.
Alright,
Yes, anyways.
Oh.
Dino? Was that all 3 of your stuff? Alright, anyways. After a minute passed, after the music stopped, Tails was running up a hill, then he stopped. It wasn't until I saw why. Sonic was there on the other side of the screen with his back against Tails and his eyes closed. Tails looked happy to see Sonic, and then but then his smile faltered, obviously noting that Sonic wasn't responding to him, if not acting as if he was totally oblivious to Tails' what? Tails walked slowly toward Sonic. Fuck, pardon me. And I noticed that I wasn't even moving my keyboard to make him move. So this had to have been a cutscene. Yeah, that's scary, isn't it? Cutscenes existing. Right, guys? Are you scared yet?
no! Sorry, I just got jump scared by a bit of text.
Yes. I suddenly began to have a growing feel of dread as Tails walked closer to Sonic to get his attention. I felt that Tails was in danger and something bad was going to happen. I heard a faint static growing louder as Tails was but inches away from Sonic, and stopped and stuck his hand up to touch him. That foreboding feeling in my gut was growing stronger, and I felt the urge to tell Tails to get away from Sonic as the static grew louder. Suddenly, in a split second, I saw Sonic's eyes open. Why is it always a split second?
It could be a quarter of a second.
Yeah, does he actually just take out a stopwatch in that time? He's like, oh, split second. I fucking knew it.
Yeah, he times it.
Yeah, and Sonic's eyes were black with those glowing red dots, just like that title image. Though there wasn't a smile. What? When that happened, the screen turned black and the static sound was off. It didn't turn off, it was off, so it just sounded a bit funny.
Yeah.
Alright, Tabby. Next
Oh,
up.
Alright, where are we?
It stayed black for about 7 seconds. Just keep reading with us. We're not doing anything else right now.
The screen stayed black for about 10 seconds or more. Then it showed, the typical level. Wait.
And then it
Shit,
stayed
I-
black for about 7 seconds. I think you've skipped ahead. This is why you should be reading with
I
us,
was like
Tabby.
4 paragraphs behind, my bad. It stayed black for about 7 seconds, and the white text appeared forming a message saying, "Hello, do you want to play with me?" I've seen this somewhere.
It sounds so fucking retarded the way he words things. The text appeared forming a message. It didn't actually form a message, it just appeared to form a message.
This is why we have to use Grammarly.
Mm.
At this point, I was creeped out. I didn't want to continue with the game, but my curiosity got the better of me when I was taken to a different level with the level title now saying a hide and seek.
No, it's all caps, so you gotta stream it.
Hide and seek!
Alright.
This time I was in the Angel Island level from Sonic 3, and it looks like everything was on fire.
I'm back.
Alright, welcome back.
Do I keep going or Dino takes over?
Dino, you want to take over?
Where we at?
Tails looked as though.
Who the fuck's that?
After the
Tails looked as though he was scared out of his wits this time. He actually looked at me and made frantic gestures to me as if he wanted to get out of the area he was in fast as possible. I was starting to get freaked out by this, and I mean, Tails was actually breaking the fourth wall trying to tell me to get him out of
How is
there.
any of this like scary to anyone? This is a hacked game.
I'm scared.
Opens this bag of musks. Anyways, continue, Dino.
So I pressed down on the arrow key as hard as I could and made him run as fast as possible. A pixelated version of that creepy theme you meet Shadow. Wait, what? That creepy theme when you meet Shadow at the Ark as Robotnik from SA2 was playing as it made
What?
Tails trek through the desolate forest, trying to help him escape.
I don't think you know what
Whatever
desolate
it's from.
means. Forests don't tend to be desolate.
They do.
No, forests tend to have
Suddenly,
land.
I heard
and,
that creepy
trees.
laugh again.
You're in
That
the mean
awful-
parts.
Kefka laugh. Right after 10 seconds had passed, I helped Tails run through the forest. And then I started seeing flashes of Sonic popping everywhere on the screen. Again with those black and red eyes.
Yes, we
Alright, you take
figured.
the wheel.
The music changed to that suspenseful drowning jingle.
Jingle,
Jingle, jangle.
Imagine describing drowning as a jingle. A jingle is like the Windows 7 startup sound.
Yeah.
As I see Sonic behind Tails slowly gaining up on him. Flying! Sonic wasn't running, he was flying! The flying pose was his sprite looked very similar to Metal Sonic's flying pose in Sonic CD, except it was just Sonic, and he had black and red eyes, again only. This time, he had the most deranged looking grin on his face. He looked as though he were enjoying the torment he was giving this poor little fox as he gained up on him.
Huh.
This is awful. I hadn't read this story in like several years. This is worse than I remember. Suddenly, when Tails tripped, another cutscene, the music stopped and Sonic vanished. Tails laid there, and started crying for 15 seconds. The scene was rather upset. Did he take out his stopwatch again? Just like, yep, 15 seconds exactly. The scene was rather upsetting to watch, and I kind of teared myself up. But then Sonic appeared right in front of Tails, and Tails looked up in horror. He teared up. He's fucking crying over a fox tripping over
Oh my
in a
God.
Sonic game. This man is
Yes.
a pussy. What
Shut
do
up,
you like?
Gunter.
If he sees like,
If
a
you were
dead-
in his shoes, if you were in his shoes, you would be crying, okay?
why?
Yeah, like-
I'm serious.
Beta male.
Why doesn't he just unplug the disc and just break it, snap it in half like that?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Like throw it out the fucking
Like,
window.
snap its neck. Now you know how these horror stories work, then it ends up in his post again or something.
Anyways, Tabby.
Yep. So, where are we?
Blood started.
All right, one sec.
You should just read
What?
along with us for fuck's sake, Tabby.
I should. Blood. I'm listening now. Blood started to come down those blackened eyes of Sonic's as a grin slowly grew from his face as he looked down at the horrified fox. I could do nothing but
Oh no,
watch.
there is something you could do, you moron.
Turn off the fucking computer. No, Gunter, you're using your brain. What are you on about? We don't do this here.
I mean, to be fair, the story's written by a furry pedophile, so it's not like he uses his brain.
Wait. Can you say that again? Furry.
The person who writes this story, JC the Heine, is a furry pedophile. Well, he hasn't committed any acts of pedophilia yet, hopefully.
That we know of.
Yeah, that we know of.
Yeah.
But he is a pedophile.
Yeah.
Like self-admitted.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that was a pretty rough 6 years he had, I guess.
He likes to get off to cub porn, and if you don't know what cub porn is, do not Google that.
I know what it is because Discord had.
No, I'm just telling the audience that, just in
Oh,
case.
yeah. Well, quick rundown for Discord actually didn't ban it. Then they like got a bunch of backlash and banned Cupborn
Yeah.
because like their mods were pedophile furries and stuff.
Yeah.
I knew those
Anyways,
things goes in hand
let's keep going.
sometime.
Let's keep going. Blood Tribe.
All right, let me. Fuck, I missed it.
Oh
Blood.
no, wait, no, wait. I was so shocked. I think.
I was so
Oh
shocked
no, wait.
by what.
Sorry. Fuck. I'm dumb. Just a split second.
Just in a split second, Sonic lunged at Tails. Right before the screen went black, there's a loud screeching noise that only lasted 5. Got the pocket watch out for that. 5 seconds.
That's a really loud. That's a really long scream.
Yeah, it's
like-
like ah. The text returns only this time.
You have to say it like Sonic. Actually, who wants to be
You're
Sonic?
too slow. Want
Yeah.
to try again?
Who wants to be this story? Who wants to be Sonic? You're too slow. I'll be Sonic. You're too slow. Wanna try again?
And then that god awful laugh came with
Tony
it.
Montana is Sonic. You're too slow! No, wait, that sounds like Tony.
I was so shocked by what had happened. Did Sonic murder Tails? No, he couldn't have. He and Tails were like best mates, right?
It's a hacked
Why did
game,
Sonic-
you moron.
Do that to him.
It's
This
a
is
hacked
Sonic.
game,
Is
you
this TNO lore?
Oh, this man is a genius.
I shook the Oh, it's a pedophile furry, so.
Hang on. They're like the protagonist. I just want to say something as well. Sonic isn't real. He doesn't make these decisions. This is lines of code on a screen doing things.
Yes.
Anyways, keep going.
I shook the shock off as I was brought back to the character select. The save
shocked.
file that had Tails was different. Tails was no longer in the box itself, but in the TV screen itself. Was flickering with the red static. Tails' expression scared me. His eyes were black and bleeding. His orange fur had gone back, and he had an expression of anguish on his face. Trying to ignore it, I picked Knuckles next.
That scares him. That he like does.
Oh, it's gonna give Sonic a knuckle sandwich.
There's a fly flying past him. Scared. Does he like whenever he sees a dead like bug? Does he get up? Does he like have a fucking funeral for it?
Perhaps. The laugh?
I went to your daughter's funeral.
Right.
Wait, I think it's Dino now.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Where
Dino.
are we at?
The laugh.
The laugh.
The laugh.
The
came
laugh
again.
came again, and the screen cut to black and stayed there for 10 seconds.
Another
This
stopwatch.
time, the level said you can't run.
You can't run.
You can't run! I was really freaked out by now. I couldn't tell if this was a glitch or a hack or some kind of sick, twisted joke. Or anything really, but despite my fear of what happened next, I kept
I
playing.
thought this was a
The next
smart
level-
gamer.
Yeah, what a
Can't even tell if
fucking
it's a
idiot.
hack. Fuck it.
This next level looked much different. It had the ground of scrap brain zone, but the sky background looked like the main menu. It had the dark reddish cloudy sky, but it was the music that creeped me out again. Blah blah blah, Earthbound. I also noticed that Knuckles looked afraid just like Tails did, though not as much. More rather, he looked a little unnerved. He broke the fourth wall just like Tails and looked as if he wasn't sure about what was going on, but I made him move anyway. He ran straight down the pathway in this dark level, and as he did, the screen started to flicker, red static a couple times, and then that laugh came again. Then after a few seconds of running, I noticed several blood stains on a metallic ground. I felt a growing sense of fear again, thinking that something horrible was going to happen to Knuckles.
Nuggies.
And he looked nauseated walking down this blood-stained road, but I still kept him going.
Hang on.
Suddenly, as
Hang on,
Knuckles ran,
Dino, how the fuck do you tell if a pixelated character is nauseous?
he's a smart gamer, ask him.
He can't
Suddenly,
tell
as
that this
Knuckles
is an
ran,
obvious
Sonic
hack.
appeared right in front of him with his black and red eyes. And then black static appeared again. When the static vanished, nothing, blah blah blah. I found you, I was now
Found you.
scared. Sonic found Knuckles already? What was going on?
Alright.
Anyway, red static
time
came
because
again.
you've read like 3 paragraphs now, or 4. Alright.
I mean, there were like 3 sentences.
Anyway, red static came in again, and I was back in the level. Knuckles looked like he was panicking, and Sonic was nowhere to be found. Sorry.
No,
No.
beg your pardon.
And at this time, that high-pitched squealing from the Silent Hill 1's final why are you bringing in all the games from Japan? Is he going to start talking about Shadow of the Colossus soon?
He'll be fucking
hope he
throwing
does,
some
'cause at least
fucking
that-
Mario in soon.
Yeah, he's going to be throwing in fucking Mario and from Mario.
Oh, Luigi comes out with his vacuum cleaner and sucks Sonic up.
Yeah, Luigi was Mario's second banana. You don't get that yet, Dino, but you will one day. This kind of... Was this some kind of boss battle with Sonic? I hope to God it wasn't, honestly. I just imagine he's like a really Christian guy, and he's like, dear God, please don't make this happen. Don't make me even fight Sonic the Hedgehog, my idol, my hero. Suddenly Sonic appeared right in front of Knuckles and what appeared to be pixelated black smoke. I made Knuckles turn and punch Sonic, but Sonic vanished in a black pixelated smoke before I could even land a hit. That terrified laugh went off again.
Sonic just got snogged in the noggin.
Yeah, no, he almost got snogged. Then Sonic appeared behind Knuckles again, and then made him punch again. Sonic vanished again, laughing. Sonic was panicking even more, and I felt that I was going crazy. You are going crazy if you think these things are real. Sonic was practically playing with us. He was playing some sick twisted mind game with me and Knuckles. He wasn't practically playing with you, you fucking dolt. He was playing with you.
Shut up.
He's a
Gunter,
smart.
you're
Sorry.
not smart.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not a smart gamer.
You're not a smart gamer, you idiot.
Alright, where's Tabby? Tabby, you there? Alright,
Tabby.
Tabby's not there. You know, would you like to take care?
Where we
take
at?
over?
Where we
I'm here. I am here. Where are we?
Never mind. Another cut.
Okay. Another.
Well, that's how does he spell cutscene wrong now? He spelled it correctly twice before. Why does he spell it wrong now?
Suddenly, when Tails tripped, another cutscene.
What? No, wrong thing. Wrong bit, Tabby. Up to Knuckles.
Alright, my bad.
Wait, he spelled Knuckles wrong. Oh my God.
Okay, wait, which Knuckles?
Knuckled.
Knuckled.
Honest
Knuckles.
to God, how he spells it. Knuckled.
Knuckle.
Fucking.
Knuckle. Wait, it's
Wait,
Knuckle.
what?
JC the Hyena, if you're watching this, I know you're not watching this, but if you are, go fuck yourself. Alright, let's have it.
Knuckle. Knuckle.
Wait, knuckled?
That's what he says.
Another safe player just knuckled.
Fell to his knees. I cannot take this sentence with fucking Knuckle. I just imagine, like, this class retard named Knuckled. And he like fails a test where he's like a autistic fit of rage and smashes the room. And like falls to his knees and he's like sobbing, just like.
I have another.
Anyways, Tabby, could you keep reading?
Sure. Can I just before we continue, just check the Discord chat? I found a good article later.
Fuck, pardon me. We don't talk about JC the Hyena. Alright. Here's a... Oh god.
All right, where are we?
We were the thing that we were just talking about, Knuckles.
Oh, Knuckle, yeah. Sonic was actually driving both of us crazy. And then in a split second, Sonic lunged at Knuckles and the screen went black with another distorted screeching noise that lasted for at least 3 seconds. Another text message appeared. So many souls to play with, so little
What other
time.
message is it gonna be? Sonic sent a raven. I just imagine he gets a fucking, like, he just actually got a raven from the Sonic in the video game, and he opens, like, the window, and he's like, ah, be gone, raven, back to your king! Ugh, so many souls to play with, so little time. Would you agree? Sorry, you have to say it like Sonic. So many souls to play with, so little time. Would you agree? I like how we got "wouldn't you agree" wrong.
What the hell? Just when this is going on, I started to think Sonic was actually trying to tell.
Wait, what? I'm just
Here
looking
we
at these.
go.
I'm looking at the adverts that I just that I'm getting. Just a small little tangent.
Nudge Madonna.
Okay, you guys take over. I need to.
Hang on, one of them's called "Man notices strange hole in the lake, so he fits a drone inside and captures something unexpected."
I have
Hang
bad luck.
on. Dino, you're up.
Yeah,
You're up, Dino.
where we at?
What the hell?
What the hell?
Ooh.
What the hell? Just what is going on? I started to think Sonic was actually trying to talk to me through the game, but I was too scared to think that. Oh my fucking god. I was brought back to the main menu, and this time the second file box had Knuckles in the TV screen. His red fur had darkened to a reddish grey. His deadlights were dripping with blood, and his eyes were black and bleeding too. And he had a look of sadness on his face.
I have a lock on
I
Saturn
began
on my
to
face.
think that those were actual characters trapped in the TVs. But I couldn't believe it. I didn't want to believe it.
I'm fucked.
So I shut off the game and took a break. I took a nap, which wish I hadn't. Cause
Serious, I closed the game, then I had a nap, and I wish I hadn't, because when I woke up, I'd shat my pants.
the punctuation's terrible. I took a nap, wish I hadn't, because I then began to have the most disturbing nightmare. I was in a pitch black darkness. It's not even close. This is a terrible story.
Oh, don't worry, the sequel gets worse.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be reading
I
that.
was
bell.
in pitch black darkness. So I was under the light given off by a lamp that hung high above my head.
Dino, the story might be terrible, but this is the best one out of the three.
Wait, there's 3 more.
I could hear the.
There is a second one, then there's a remake.
Oh,
Yes.
boy, I could hear the cries of Knuckles and Tails nearby. They were saying stuff like, "Help us!" and "Why did you give us to him?" and "Run before it gets you too." The cries died out as I then heard Sonic laugh. His laugh sounded a lot like the
Distorted
Kefka laugh. What is that laugh? You're a lot of fun to play with, kid.
Or I sound
Just
like
like your
Marge.
friend Kyle. So you got twisted up in the scene, kid.
Truth is.
Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Homer, what are my eggs from Mark?
I was scared and looking around for the source of the voice.
Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're, Neil, it must seem like you made an 18 character.
Oh, Dino keeps getting
Truth
out.
is, the game was rigged from the start.
Bang!
Alright, back to business.
Alright, where
I was scared
alright.
and looking around for the source of the voice. Won't be long now until you join him
No,
with all
hold
my
on.
other friends. I saw him walking towards me, flickering in and out in several directions. You can't run, kid. You're in my world now, just like the others. Is this JC the hyena talking to children?
No. Hold on, I gotta. From where you're. Alright, keep going. You've made your last delivery, kid.
This is Sonic's Benny from New Vegas. Okay, from now on I'm gonna just talk like Sonic, fucking.
Time
Benny.
to cash out. Maybe cans kill people without looking them in the face, but I ain't a think. Dig.
Maybe when he grabbed me, I saw his bleeding black and red-eyed grinning face. I woke up in a fright. Wait, what?
You've made your last
His eyes were
delivery,
grinning.
kid.
What the fuck? His eyes.
Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling, must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
You know,
After a
I'm
couple
really...
hours, I decided to continue playing the game. I don't know why, but I had to know. I had to figure out why this was happening. Maybe it's because someone hacked it and you're a pussy. So I turned on the computer, turned on the game, and selected Robotnik next. I still thought that was wacky, playing as Robotnik. That is, if anyone writing a horror story, never put the word wacky after or during when it's supposed to be scary. Playing as Robotnik, but anyway, the level title appeared again, and it said ... which I found really freaky. Oh fuck. How did he find that freaky? Honestly, do you know, Tabby? In what world can anyone find
And
dot,
these smart
dot,
gamers get scared
freaky?
by pixels.
No. Seriously, this isn't even pixels. This is worse. It's just dot dot dot.
Wait, have you JC Bahai? Have you seen his Wikipedia, his article?
No, I've read enough on him though. I've
Yeah,
gone
it's,
directly to the source of the shit JC the Hyena does, and oh baby, he gave one of the worst. He actually complained when they took this off of the creepypasta wiki, because apparently it was a masterpiece. In his own words, it was a masterpiece. This time, I was in some kind of hallway. Didn't really look like it was any of the from any of the classic Sonic games, though it had though it has the pixelated style. Tenth swap, obviously. The floor was shiny and checkered. The walls were dark greyish purple with animated candle lights and a few blood stains here and there. Is this Terraria? Is this the dungeon?
Yeah, he's in the dungeon.
He's gonna get attacked by the dungeon guardian. And there was a dark red curtain hanging above on the top of the screen. Every 12 seconds or so, that curtain sways very slowly. Why the fuck do you remember this? Why are you telling us this? What does this have to do with the fucking story? I want this over with so we can move on to the second one. The music was oddly pleasant, a piano playing in a rather sad yet peaceful song, but I knew better. This was the song that played in Hill Act 1, only it wasn't in reverse. But
I'm gonna watch some Korean gamer
but
go straight
I
in,
knew
right?
fucking better. No, Tabby, you're sitting with us till the very end.
I'm watching Korean gamer girls stream. You can't stop me.
No, we're almost done. Just wait, Tabby.
All right, fine.
Alright.
I need to buy her gift subs though.
Alright, Tabby. Your turn to read. You're up.
I closed it. Okay.
Tabby,
Sorry,
stop watching Korean porn.
I got distracted. Where are we?
Robotnik didn't look.
Wait. Wait, is it Robbie's turn?
Yeah, it's Eggman.
Eggman's gonna like, kick ass.
Yeah,
Robotnik
Eggman's
didn't
gonna,
look
like,
entirely
pull out his
nervous.
12-inch cock and just slap Sonic in the face.
Can I stop watching Korean stream?
Alright, Tabby, stop.
Robotnik didn't look entirely nervous like Tails and Knuckles did, but he did have a suspicious look on his face, as if he was just a bit
Yeah,
paranoid.
just a tad bit paranoid. One of those things that just
Did a
comes and
little-
goes.
Animation when I just left him standing. He turns his head to the left and then to the right, and then
Slide
to the left now.
Slide to the right.
To the right.
Crisscross.
Center-
Cha-cha.
Center wrist when they say slide to the left. He did a little animation. Just left him standing. He turns his head to the left, real smooth, and then to the right, at least twice, and then shrugs at me. As if he had no idea where he was or what was going on. Even though I was scared out of my mind about what was going to happen, I had Robotnik continue onward. He did his usual running animation, you know, when like you beaten him and at the end of a classic Sonic game and you chase him and stuff. As we continue going through the hallway. Hey, answer a quick question.
Yeah.
How do you know this guy's like a pedophile, this like JCPenney guy?
Go on his Fur Affinity.
That's enough, I'm not going to that website.
Yeah, I know, I bravely went where no sane person will go.
When he's for affinity, like, okay, well,
He is a furry pedophile. Did you expect him to not have one?
well, I don't expect him to like openly state,
He literally says on it, I'm into cub porn.
I'm drinking out of a Schweppes raspberry. I'm gonna put it in like a paper bag and
Schweppes?
slam it against my head. A Schwepp, yeah.
Yeah, I've got some Coca-Cola here, a liter of Coca-Cola. Wow, I've already drank in half of it, fuck. How long have I been recording for? I'll figure that out later.
I got a good deal because like these Schweppes, they
Alright.
one of those fancy bottles, but it costs $1.
Whose turn is it?
Tabby, finish up
Knows.
your thing, the final paragraph you're on.
Then I stop at a long. Oh wait, I stop at a long flight of stairs leading down. Now I was nervous. Even Robotnik seemed unsure of himself. Though I pressed onward. Okay, Dino, it's your turn.
You know? You're up, Dave.
Which one?
As I led.
As I led Robotnik down the stairs, I'm gonna call him Egg Boy.
Yeah.
As I led Egg Boy down the stairs, I noticed that the walls had gotten darker and more reddish. The red torches are now an eerie blue, and we landed onto another hallway. This one was longer than the last one, or at least it felt like. And then we headed down another flight of stairs. This one was much more longer, and it took at least 1 full minute. And then I heard that horrid Kefka laugh again, and the music slowly faded until it was quiet, as did the walls turned more dark red and the torches were black flame now. When Egg Boy landed onto the third hallway, I noticed how he looked really creeped out. Though he tried to hide, I couldn't blame him. I was scared too. Your turn.
Alright, suddenly, Sonic popped out right in front of him. And Eggman was the same, in front of Eggman, the same way he did Knuckles and then Red Static. Red Static lasted for about 15 seconds and showed the most unpleasant image. The image showed a hyper-realistic of... What the fuck is a hyper-realistic? Of Sonic standing in the darkness, where you can only see his face, while his head and torso faded into black. And I saw hyper-realistic, and I mean like he looked so real you can actually see the lines in his blue fur. As if you could feel the fur if you touched the screen. His face, oh god, he had the most horrifying smile I'd ever seen. And that's saying something considering when I saw the image, then I saw the image at the start of the game. Get fucked, you pussy. There were two small glowing dots staring right at me. As if you're staring into my mind. You mean it was looking out of the screen. This faggot is scared by a PNG.
Well, I'm scared. I got a couple good.
It literally stretched to the sides of his face, like Cheshire Chat. Like, hang on, Cheshire Chat, a cat. Hang on, who's that? I'm googling that. What is? Who is this? How is that scary? Something from Alice in Wonderland. It's the purple cat from that. Except Sonic's had fangs, very sharp fangs, like the werehog's teeth, except more vicious looking, somewhat yellowish. And from the look of it, he had stains of blood and small bits of flesh on his lips and fangs as if he ate some animal. I stared at that gruesome image for a good 30 seconds, never taking my eyes off it. I felt as if he was actually looking at me, smiling at me, that face. It took just 10 seconds for it to etch itself into my brain for good. He actually has PTSD from playing a fucking video game. If it was a good video game, maybe. Oh my god, I just see what's coming up. Then the screen flickered with red static again, 3 times. And on the 3rd time I heard the Kefka laugh. Except this time it was as distorted sounded. It sounded distorted, demonic even. It went to the image again, except this time there was text again, though it was messed up. But it was pretty much one of the most horrifying things I had looked at since I saw this game. You guys want to know what it says?
What?
I am God.
Well, what's so funny, Gunter?
The second story gets worse. The second story gets more melodramatic than that. It was when I read that image while looking at Sonic when it hit me. I realized that right then and there, this Sonic was a monster, pure evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. Fucking hell, that's a hell of a title. That's one hell of a wombo combo. Just imagine that being your official title. Mr. Tabby, the pure evil, sadistic, all-powerful, nightmarish, demented monster. And all of his victims, including Tails, Knuckles, and Egg Boy, and possibly Kyle, are just his little toys, and the game is his very gateway into his chaotic, nightmarish world, and the very hell his victims are trapped in. How the fuck did you figure that out from him saying, I am God?
I'm watching a Korean Twitch streamer, Eagle.
I told you not to. Suddenly, in an actual split second, I screamed up as Sonic lunged at the screen, screeching loudly with his mouth wide open, to an unnatural length, revealing nothing but literally spiraling abyss of pure darkness before the red static came again. This time much louder and distorted, so it hurt my ears. I yelled and grabbed my ears as the red static screeched for a good 7 seconds. Oh, this will make sense now. He's autistic. Then it stopped and showed nothing but a black screen. As I sat there, staring at the black screen, one last text came up. Ready for round 2? Tom? The Kefka. I'm just gonna read the rest of this story. I don't think you...
Right.
Do you guys want to read any more of this?
No.
Now, this story is bad, but when we get around to reading the second one, just keep in mind, it gets worse. The Kefka laugh, now sounding more clear as if Sonic was right behind me, played again 3 times as I looked in the text as shock and confusion. I just want to ask, did you guys think it would be this bad when I told you guys about this story?
Dead bot.
Let's do Dead Bart next, alright?
Nah, we gotta do the rest of the Sonic.exe stuff.
Alright, fine. We'll do Dead Bart.
We'll do that another time.
Fine.
Then I got booted to the main menu, and this time the third save file had a TV image of Robotnik in the same tormented state as Tails and Knuckles. Robotnik's skin turned to a dull grey, his mustache drooped and he blackened, his glasses were broken, his blood coming out of them, and he had a mere dead expression on his face. I looked at Tails, Knuckles, and Robotnik and cried a bit. I genuinely want to get up and just storm away.
Yeah, that's what the fuck.
I pitied them for the agony they're going through. They were forever trapped within the game, forever tormented by that horrid hedgehog, and always will be. That horrid hedgehog ruining my plans. Then the computer itself shut itself off, and I couldn't turn it back on no matter what I did. I sat there for maybe 25 seconds, horrified by what had just happened. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. Fuck's sake.
So I'm browsing Twitch IRL, and the further down you go, the gets not worse. It gets more.
How do you make Sonic the Hedgehog scary?
I'm back.
Dead Bart, Dead Bart, Dead Bart, Dead
Well,
Bart.
I'm Dead Bart. Sonic is the very embodiment of evil. He tortures people who play his game in more ways than
I gotta
one.
go test the pasta sauce. I'll be back in a minute.
And when he gets bored, he drags you into the game. Literally drags you to hell, where he can play with you always as his toy. I can't get the game out of my computer. I think it's stuck in there. Take a fucking sledgehammer to it. But at least I managed to turn it back on now. I sat there for 25 seconds. I heard a voice right behind me. It sounded like a whisper. Try to keep this interesting for me, Tom. I turned to see where the voice came from, and what I saw made me scream, sitting on my bed staring at me with a Sonic plushie, smiling with bloodstains under its eyes.
Yeah.
Ah. So, as Nino is away, right now testing pasta sauce. Final thoughts on this, Tabby? Is this worse than real Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, real Chuck E. Cheese, like, at least I was, like, I actually wanted to just keep reading to see how it's gonna end up. Like,
Yeah,
this one I was...
This one was... I was struggling, and I've read this before.
I was looking at Korean Twitch streamers half the...
Anyways, that's Sonic.exe. We're gonna do round 2 sometime. Probably later today. In like
Dead
an hour
Bart,
or
Dead Bart,
something.
Dead Bart.
So, see you all around.